Alright, so let's talk about the tricky part of the front. Now we have the trees. We want the smoke and the debris to go behind the trees. Okay. Now luckily the trees does have different features. It's green and it's a little darker, but it's not that not particularly different, because when it comes to values and stuff, they all have a little bit of red color, because it's a grayish green, right? It's not like a pure green. So we have to somehow figure out a working way, but we can try something very basic. So here, after the key light, I'm gonna drag out another key light, and this key light is not gonna go to the merge here, it's gonna be something else. Okay. For this key light, I'm gonna key light out, or try to key light out the trays. So I'm gonna click on that little picker again, holding down Control Alt and drag there, until I find a sweet spot that I can maybe isolate the tray. Oh, that's a good spot. Okay. And if you look at the alpha, and that's actually not very good. We try to look at the alpha. I want to somehow make the tray separated from the other part. Either it's dark or bright. I just need an image that is different on the tray. Okay, I guess this is the best I can get. Okay, alright. Can try a few times, maybe I can find something more, but it's not that close, so it's hard to say with just one perfect, there's a perfect pixel to do that. But yeah, I guess this is the best I can get. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna invert the result of this. That'll give me a junk alpha like this, a rough alpha, right? And for the original key light, I'm gonna drag this down to have a reroute. I'm gonna copy the alpha from this guy over. So I'm gonna create a copy. B is gonna be the image you want to use. A is the alpha you copied in. Right? So B goes to the key light. A goes to the invert. Now we have this alpha, right? Now before we do more tweaking, let's take a look at the result we're having now. I'm gonna create a merge. Background will be our original merge, and foreground will be our trees. Take a look. Okay. Now don't worry too much about this yet. Oh, we do actually have to. I'm gonna create a premod here just to pre-multiply the alpha. Every time when you have a new alpha, you premod afterwards. Okay, so let's see. Drag this over to have some space. Let's take a look at our results, because oftentimes it's a really good idea that you take a look at the result before you make a decision, say, this is not good or not. So my concentration here will be see if those smoke are falling nicely behind the trees. I see some holes there because my alpha is not clean, but I see the edging here is not bad, so I'm actually pretty happy with this result. Okay, now of course I have some artifact at the beginning and the end, so I need to somehow kick out this part, right? I don't even care what's happening here because no smoke is gonna go there anyways. Alright, so before premod and the merge, let me have some space here. I'm gonna use roto again to cut out the area I don't really need. So roto here. Now this roto is gonna cut out these areas. So I'm gonna draw out, press Q button to have the overlay on. I'm gonna draw out this roto here. This roto is going to be used to cut out the area that I don't really think is needed at all. So these guys, right? Now grab all the dots and press the E button a few times until I get a soft blend. Alright, let's take a look. The alpha will be additive in the default settings, and I want subtractive. So let's see, change this blend mode to minus. Alright, that's gonna cut out that part. I should get a much cleaner result on this part. Let's take a look. Of course I have to animate it, so let's do the animation. Go 10 frame later and move it over. Just give me more space here. And 10 frame later, and also move it over a little bit. Basically animating our alpha now. Those are, we call those junk alpha or garbage alpha to cut out the ones we clearly know it's gonna be, you know, the things we don't want. So it's a good way to use roto, because key light doesn't really, it's not guaranteed to be perfect on some of the cases. Like the trees, it's you know, a particular case that we cannot get a perfect result. Okay, let's press Q button. Now you can see we're basically now getting rid of what's happening on the top before. They're now all getting cut out because of our junk roto to throw those garbage information that we don't want out. Right? So you don't have to be perfect with key light, as long as you have the essential part doing the right thing. Right? So the edge of the tree. Have some trouble there. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's not good. So I'm gonna go fix that. Drag it down here. You can Control Alt, add new ones here. Right, go back. That's fine, we're not even having anything over there yet. Oops, it's probably better to use this now, so I'm gonna delete all these keyframes. And just use this guy again. So 10 frame later, I just move it over. 10 frame later, move it over. Frame later. And for these, I think because we're having very little things, it doesn't really have to be perfect. All right, let's take a look at it one more time. Should be good now. So yeah, this needs some more tweaking if you want to have perfect results. But you know, we're just gonna rough it out. As you can see, we have a fairly good blending over there. Looks like they're really behind the tree now. All right. Now, just to make things a little bit softer over here, I'm gonna go to the after the alpha copy. Right? I'm gonna create a node called soften, and I'm gonna drag the soften up a little bit, drag the size up. The soften will be applied on the alpha channel only, so that we have a softer alpha. You can see it's blending the alpha a little bit. So I'm just gonna blend it a little bit, so it's not like really harsh. Just feels more natural with that. And I do want to have all this inside blocked, so I need another alpha to, or roto to tell, okay, what's inside of the trace will always be blocking. So another roto here. And this roto will be rotating the inside, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the overlay back on. The roto this part. There maybe. Alright. Can grab this and press E button a few times to blur that out. Alright, you can see it's basically helping us to really tell this part is exactly or completely opaque. Now again, we need to animate this, so go back 10 frames and move it over here. And 10 more frames and move it over here. Right. You can see the same repetitive thing we're trying to do here now. And that doesn't really matter at all. Go to 46 and go 10 frames later. Drag it over here. Maybe tweak some of the things here. This should go up. And that's actually all. Everything there needs to be blocked. Okay, I'm gonna fix that. So this can be tedious and take a lot of time. If you would really want to get a perfect result, it's possible to do whatever you want. I do see people actually composite a real life footage, a cat with fur on the edge with a 3D image, and it just takes a lot of time to do the roto, but it's possible to achieve that. Right, 10 frames later, let's move it over. Let's see if I can block that bottom part that I don't really want. Because this part, those smokes, because they're from the back, I don't really have a good way of deleting that. If we want it to be perfect, we probably need to go back and say, okay, what's behind the building will not be rendered, or we can delete that volume or do something like that. For now, I guess there's no easy way to clean it up. So just maybe fake it by using masking, big blending, so that it's not really showing up. All right. So yeah, this is gonna take you some time to really do it. Let's take a look at the result now. Right. We basically have two junk alphas to cut out and add in the ones we want to keep and throw out, right? And then we also, before that, we use keylat to get a rough alpha for the edging. Right? Probably need to fix that little thing. But you can see the other parts are actually doing just fine. All right. See that window is blocking something. Probably need to do some tweaking there. But again, that could be something that people don't really notice anyways. I kind of don't want any smoke after this and things like that. So we're gonna do more tweaking in the next tutorial to, do some color correction. And also the fire is kind of like burning all the time. I don't want the fire to be there anymore, maybe after frame 30 or so. So I'm gonna do some animation on the fire or the emission channel afterwards. So see you next time.